Especially in the second half, I think also the fans, they had that feeling that we were giving everything.
Jose, it's Rio here. How you doing? I know it's hard on your heart, but in the last 5 minutes there, we was all up here saying, oh, listen, at least they're going for it. Even if it's 0-0, they're going for it. The last couple of years, we haven't seen that. We've been frustrated sitting there watching the studios and the fans at home. How do you, as a manager, instill that in your team to keep going in them last 5 minutes?
We start thinking about what this game could be even before the game starts, because we know the way they defend. We know that today they wouldn't play Edelston more in front. They would play with Edelston in a line of three with Myler and Klukas. The wingers, they defend all the time. So we knew that we were going to find a very organized wall, and tactically you can change things. You can bring different situations to the game. You can try to create new problems to your opponent, but it's the mental side of it that can make a difference. And we speak about this all the time. We speak about our objective is only one, is to be champions. If in the end of the season we finish second, third or fourth, it's because somebody was better than us. If we finish fifth or sixth, it's because we were not good enough. But we have to play to win every game. If we don't win, we don't win. And of course we know that we are not going to win. But the mentality is there. The boys are giving everything. For me, is amazing when I look to my side and I see the people on the bench suffering with us and jumping with the goal. We have a really strong group. It's a privilege for me to work with these guys.
Well, you can now catch your breath, you can go home, maybe go house hunting over the next couple of weeks if you want, because it's the international break. But when you sit down and you assess what's happened so far in the first 3 Premier League games, how do you reflect on your start at the club?
I think we changed the team, we changed the dynamic, we changed the way we think football, but also the way we think the competitions, and also the way we think the day by day in the club. I know Mr. Van Gaal so well because we work together, and we are so different in almost every aspect of our job. And sometimes you arrive in a club, and if the players are not so open for the change, it's more difficult. The players were open. The players were waiting for me. I can say that way. They were waiting to give everything, and I think we play a different football. I think when the ball goes to a fullback, you see what we do this season and what they did before, and it's just an example. I think in many matches the fullbacks are the first players to receive the building up pass, and then is the trigger. And what you do with the trigger, you play the ball back to the central defender, or you start trying to find lines to attack the last line. That's what we are trying to do. Defensively, we don't play man-to-man. We play zonal. I think the players are growing up a lot because they feel much more comfortable that way, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy with the evolution of the team, and I think we can obviously do much better because the players are very good. My solutions on the bench are very good. Today I was looking to the bench and I was counting the solutions, and all of them good solutions. And I kept Ashley Young on the bench, and I kept Memphis Depay at home. And you know, the solutions are really good. The squad is much better than what they showed last season. Of course, we bought, and I think we bought well, but the players are better than what they showed last season. So I think we are in a good direction. We are not going to be consistent. I think we are going to be a little bit down, up in some moments because it's part of the evolution of the team. But I trust the guys a lot, and my feeling is that they also trust me.
And so if you're happy with your strength in depth, no more business before 11 o'clock on Wednesday night?
No.
You're done?
Business. I want to keep every player. I want to go to the Europa League with a good squad. Imagine I go to Europa League and I change the 4 defenders and I play Damian, Phil Jones, Smalling and Marcos Rojo, and I rest 4 players and I play with 4 new, or I rest Ibra, Mata and Martial, and I play Mkhitaryan, Marcus Rashford and Ashley Young. So I have a very good squad. I'm really happy with what I have in my hands, and I repeat, it's a privilege for me to work with the boys.
Good man. So you can put your feet up on Wednesday night, and up next for you, the small matter of your first Manchester derby.
You are right. Yeah.
Enjoy that one. Thanks
Bye.
for joining us, Jose.
See you guys.
Enjoy the break. Thank
Bye.
you. Take care. He talks, doesn't he, about the change already, the evolution of Manchester United, he calls it. And I think we probably saw it most apparently in that last 4 or 5 minutes. There was, for the first time in a long time, genuine belief that they were going to win that game.
I think last 10, 15 minutes, as soon as Rashford and Mkhitaryan came on, I think it brought something totally different to the team. As I said before, I think they just think goals. That's all they want. Other players maybe don't have the same threat as them, not the same pace as them, can't beat a man, don't have the goals. But these two players he can bring on, like he said, he's got a really strong squad. And to look to the side and bring them two players, and who I think are probably unlucky not to be starting the game. To look to the side, to the left-hand side of him, see players of that calibre, there's always a great chance of winning games.
But we said it at half-time, width. There's no width in the team in the first half. Wayne Rooney goes out there, people call him to come off, but the quality shows there. And Rashford penetrating the 6-yard box there. This kid, he must be scratching his head thinking, how can I have no minutes in the Premier League in the first 3 games after what I've done over the summer and last season? But a message to young kids, head isn't down, head isn't sulking, he comes on, that spark, he was the bright spark. Him and Mkhitaryan were the bright spark in the second half to change the game for Man United.
How under threat, though, are the likes of Juan Mata, Martial, Wayne Rooney at the moment, with the performance for the majority of that game?
Well, look, we said that with the strength of the squad, every player is going to be under threat. I think there's 2 players for every position. Are they the same quality? Probably not, but I think Martial has to improve. I think Juan Mata has to improve. They both have great ability, don't get me wrong, but at this minute, I think I'd rather Marcus and Mkhitaryan in the team. Yeah,
I think the thing that Mkhitaryan and Rashford give you, the other two don't, if you want it, is the ability to take a man on the outside as well. I think Martial too often wants the ball to feet, which is frustrating because he's so quick, but Rashford will get the ball and ask you, can you defend me? And
for too long,
not many can.
It wasn't good enough.
No, it wasn't, and I think all the front players at Man United, especially in the first half, would have said they could do better. They didn't play well. They didn't retain the ball like you expect them to. The quality of the players that we've got, Man United have got here, have to retain the ball more and be much more consistent with that. But it didn't happen in the first half. But you have to give credit to Hull City as well because they performed well. They had a game plan. Mick Phelan set this team up to stop Manchester United, and he'd done that. You have to give them credit. They didn't let them go through the middle part of the pitch. They defended tightly. They pressured them when they come within 25 metres of the pitch. They put the pressure on, and no matter who you are sometimes, and if you haven't got the width, which is spreading out the back four of the whole team, you're not going to get the spaces. And they were their own worst enemy at times, Man United.
They will have to face this kind of stuff every week, won't they? You know, the amount of times we faced it throughout our playing career, you're always on the ball, but you have to be good enough. You have to show that bit of quality, and if you're not doing it, there's 3 or 4 players on the bench who can come on and take your place. And as we've seen today, they can do it.
And I think too, the likes of a Pogba who are going to grow into it will be the players sometimes they look to. I mean, again, they were pressing here, chances coming up towards the end of the game, that they're asking the questions of the whole team. And I think Brucey said it before, Hull didn't have the ability to make substitutions, and at this point, when you're asking questions of defenders, tiredness creeps in, the physical element.
I think we've all played in games like that as well, where you play heavy conditions, heavy pitch, tired legs. Man United have got the ability to change the team, bring on the players like Mkhitaryan. I'm sure Mick Phelan would have loved to have had a couple of options to change the team and freshen things up as well. Unfortunately, it's difficult when he's got inexperienced players on the pitch. There's
been talk about the Man United fear factor. Sitting up here watching this with us today, as an opposition player, did you feel that maybe that fear factor is back at Manchester United when you see the superstars out there?
I think when the players like they've got are coming at you in the droves like they were towards the end of the game, it looked like they were going to score. I think the whole lad's tired last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And when
you can't blame them. No substitutions in the 3 Premier League games.
In 3 Premier League games, they haven't been able to make a substitution, so it's very hard, especially when they're playing against players when they come on with fresh legs. But I think the lads have got to take an enormous amount of credit for the way they played and dug deep today.
Absolutely, as Jose himself said. Right, in a couple of minutes we will hear from Mike Phelan. He'll come and talk to us, but just to tip your cap that you can see plenty of European football on BT Sport tomorrow evening on BT Sport 3. We've got Sporting against Porto from 6 o'clock. The European Football Show wraps all of it up, and we've also got Cagliari, Roma and Monaco, PSG from France as well. Right.